Welcome everybody to the Falcon one-shot. On the agenda, we have Goetia here today. This right here is a point-and-click adventure game, so do expect more of a slower-paced video, a lot of text reading, and a lot of puzzle solving as well. What drew me to Goetia to begin with, though, was the story behind it. Essentially, you awaken at your gravestone as the ghost of Abigail Blackwood. You have no idea how you died. All you know is that you are dead. You're still trying to come to terms with the fact that you're dead, number one. And also, right next to your grave area, or your, graveyard where you were buried, is the manor to your family place. And however, they're also missing. There's like really weird elements of like witchcraft and demonology in the game. It's not a horror game per se, but there's like a lot of weird, like surreal stuff happening in there. And your family was into some weird shit. That's all I can really tell you, because there's a lot of elements of that in the game. And you're trying to piece together exactly what happened to you and what happened to your family. Really, really interesting premise. Let's get into the game over here and get it rolling just to show off what this is all about here. So we will start a new game. Absolutely. I should note as well the art of the game, the art style, really, really endearing as well. Is this a gravestone? I can't see myself. There's no one here. Am I? No, this isn't right. Good. It seems like it still moves, in a way, and I can also see things. But I don't feel anything. Stay calm. Something's wrong. Think, Abigail. I know this tree. I'm outside the manor. I just need to think. No, this is wrong. I need to find help. Help! Father! Mother! Annie! Alright, Abigail writes down all her thoughts in her journal. Each time this notebook icon appears, you see her latest ideas regarding recent events. Perhaps it'll reveal some hints about the next goal. Press J to open a journal. Let's go ahead and do that right here. And this will kind of give you like an idea in terms of you get lost in terms of what to do next. You can look into your journal and kind of get an idea of what to do afterwards over here. So let's see, I believe if we hit control, we can inspect some things over here. So let's see, we can't interact with this crow. Let's go over here to our gravestone now and check this out again. Abigail Blackwood, 1890 to 1902. So, wow, we were just 12 years old, apparently. Well, at least that makes things clear now. Alright, what do we have here? I like this tree, but in my memories, it was a bit more impressive, even in winter. And, what do we have here? I remember the path to the village, but I'd rather stay here for now. I don't think I'm very presentable at the moment. Yeah, no kidding. Alrighty, so let's actually go into the next map over here. Clues. By holding down control, you can highlight every noticeable element in the scene. A magnifying glass will appear on every clickable object. Okay, let's find out what's over here. That's strange. There's a hexagonal shape carved out of the pedestal, as if something had been taken out. I don't think I saw that before. And we'll make ourselves over through here. Blackwood Manor. Just like in my memories, I was born and died here? I remember this window. That's where I fell. It was cold. Abigail's progress is displayed in real time on the map. The map will show you which rooms you've entered, and those that are still out of reach. Be sure to check it regularly. Tab to open the map. Alrighty, so right now we're outside. We're going to go inside of the Blackwood Manor over here. Anything over here to interact with? There's another tree. No leaves on the tree. We're still in winter, but I don't feel cold. That's probably because you're a ghostly apparition, Abigail. A light? Maybe there's someone there who can help me. Alrighty, and over here we have a closed door. However, we're a ghost, so how do I get in? I'm going through the gate. Going through the gate was easy, but such an obstacle. Oh, you're a ghost, so you should be fine. Now, impossible. It's terrifying, but rather handy. Now, it should be noted, we cannot exactly go through every single object in the game. Let's see if we have that over here available, just so I can show off what I mean by that. Like, we could go through doors and gates and stuff like that, but there's certain parts we won't be able to access to because of certain, like, maybe spells or, as I mentioned, there's like a weird, like, demonology, witchcraft aspect to the game as well. I guess we'll see that here pretty soon, though. Someone's drawn here some symbols. Does this have anything to do with demonology? Father's studies. As I mentioned, your dad was into some weird shit. I can't work out which demon these symbols represent. I really need help. Alrighty, so we can't do that just yet, huh? Okay, good. So let's see what we have available right now. We have quite a few things to interact with. Even this vase wasn't quite as dull looking before. Is my mind playing tricks on me? These stairs aren't quite as impressive as I remember. They're covered in dust. Ivy inside the manor? This is starting to look like a bad dream. So we open this up here, and there's a glowing object in here. Who could have drawn this map? The names remind me of Father's studies, but he would never have taken this document out of his office. Alrighty, now we have a map for the entire, I guess, manor that we're at right now. So we're at the hall area right now. There's a circled area over down here. I haven't really gotten that far just yet, but maybe that's where we should be heading over here. And now these little, I guess, colored objects, or at least colored areas in the map, I guess we'll explain that soon once we run into the Demonology walls that I was kind of referring to earlier here, so we'll ignore that for now. Each note, journal, book, and poster you read is stored in the codex. No need to retrace your steps, everything's here, press C to open the codex. So over here you can kind of find out notes, maps, and other things that you kind of do find in case you forget about them. So that's pretty neat. Okay. We have... the candles are lit. There must be someone around. Father usually works late at night. The wallpaper wasn't torn before. Mrs. Ward would never have allowed that. Am I really at the manor? Alright, let's move forward here. Already got the map right. Let's see what's in here. Damaged tableware. The manor seems abandoned. I don't understand. The hell animal is this? I mean, I'm not really good at identifying animals, but that right there is actually quite creepy. My grandparents used to hunt deer in the woods on the manor grounds. Good evening, Jack, Rufus, Ted, and Molly. I guess they're just deer. This guy was a huge one, though. My god. Alright, let's continue going down this way. Yeah, see, that looks weird to me. It looks like he has, like, mandibles, like giant mandibles or something. I don't know, man. I'm just not too familiar with animal when it comes to classifying them, really. So let's see, we have a painting over here. Who is this? We get no interaction with that one, huh? I wonder what that's all about. And that's about it. Let's go into the next door here. Or next room, I should say. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Okay, so, as I mentioned, you are able to kind of traverse through, you know, doors, fences, so on and so forth, but there's certain areas in the game you cannot actually interact with. So if I go into my map right now, you'll see that there's like a little yellow obstacle over here and a blue one. These will be, I guess, like at some point or another, you'll be able to get through these, but once you solve like certain things with the demonology carvings that we talked about earlier, so for now you can't really pass through them, though. That's just all you really need to know. These walls clearly don't want anything to go through them. Is there a way to get through? And I guess that's what we have to kind of find out. So let's see here. Books on botany and chemistry. Nothing I need right now. It doesn't look like any of the clocks in the manor are working, but I'm not particularly worried about that right now. Alice in Wonderland. What's this doing in Mother's library? Oh, maybe she was reading it. You know, it's a library after all. There's a book here. There's a note hidden between the pages. The handwriting's rather clumsy. It doesn't look like much different. It doesn't look that much different from mine. It must have been written by a child. So we have a little bit of a text over here from Alice in Wonderland, and we have this note. This is kind of like the important part for us here. So, Edward, Alexander and I sneaked into Father's laboratory, and we found something interesting. There's this weird powder. I will show you how it reveals hidden writings. Know this. You just have to pour the powder on the paper to reveal the ink. Alexander told me to keep some of it. Now we can start writing coded messages. And that is from R. So, to Edward from R, Alexander and R. Okay. That doesn't have to do with us, it does seem. Let's find out. But there's talk about coded messages now, so we'll keep our eyes about that as well. Over here we have some more scriptures of some kind. And let's move down this way here. That's about it. Let's come downstairs here really quickly. Alright, so there's more of this blue stuff over here which I can't get through right now. There's apparently a hole in the wall as well. Let's see. Everything is so dilapidated. I don't recognize this chair. A small part of grandfather's mineral collection. These sheets have been folded neatly. Someone still cares about these things. This couch seems comfortable enough to have a rest, if only I could. A view of the manor in the fog. Something about this painting troubles me, but I can't tell what. I don't know. I'm not sure how to even tell this. Like, is this the manor up here? Because it looks like this is like the fog area with the manor, and there's like something hovering about it. I don't know, maybe it's just my imagination though. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Something's written in the margin. Property of Alexander Hodgkin. That name's new to me. Alexander. That's what that note that we saw before, right? Let's see. Edward, Alexander and I. Yeah, so Alexander was hanging out with R when they found his powder. Okay. Good to know. So, let's see. That's about it. Let's go into the next room here. Father's office, his safe haven, the place where he had all his experiments, esoteric or otherwise. I like this place. If Father's at the manor, this is where I'll find him. But, can people see me? I won't be able to talk to him, and what will he do if he somehow recognizes me? Everything's so inconsistent, different, but also similar. Maybe I should find more hints about what's going on before I see him. Alright, so we can't do that right now. So let's go back upstairs, and I do believe the next piece of the puzzle is going to be down through here. There's a certain point I want to get to this video before we wrap it up. It's only a one-shot, mind you, but there's something really cool that actually happens down the line I wanted to show off here beforehand. I've never seen this dresser open. I think Father was hiding some important documents inside. I can't open it. Okay. But there's keys here. One of Father's most disconcerting hobbies, collecting keys for which there is no keyhole. Aha. Now, we could actually take possession of items in this game as well to kind of solve puzzles. Why would anyone hide the Virgin Mary behind lock and key? So now we could actually possess the Virgin Mary statue, move ourselves about. Not sure if we need this for anything just yet, but what we're trying to do right now is open this up here. I really want to know what this switch is for. I'm just going to pop this open right here. Alright. Some accountant invoices deeds of property. And what's this? So we have a debt certificate of... no mention of us though, right? No Abigail. But it is Blackwood, so we have Christopher, Edward, and Abraham Blackwood, 1939. Okay. A debt certificate with Father's name on it? It's impossible, I don't believe it. He was 76? But how? What happened to me? What about Mother and Annie? 1939, my last memories date back to 1902. This must be a bad dream. So much of this doesn't make any sense. I need to understand what's going on. Father's laboratory. He must have taken notes. Maybe his research can help me. So now I guess we could probably go into the laboratory itself. Now, before we do that, let me open this up. I never really liked newspapers. Wait. 2 February 1949. No, that can't. It's been 39 years. That's impossible. This is a nightmare. Let's see. These don't look like Mother's plants. She always liked flowers better. Someone's been looking after them, though. Different plants, different books. Something's going on here. Alrighty, we can't enter through here because it's got that little area. Let's actually take care of, or not take care of it, but bring the statue along. I don't think we need it for anything, but, you know, might as well just, Oh, you know what? We can't do that. We'd have to go all the way around because, as we mentioned, we could pass through walls, but items cannot, obviously. So, I'm not sure if we will need it, but I guess we'll come back. We're now in Father's laboratory over here. So hopefully this gives us an idea what's happening. These books seem really important, and they're well worn. Alrighty, have you ever heard of the story of Icarus, who flew too close to the sun? Let me tell you our version of that ancient story. A man who taught himself a great alchemist and master the elements of nature found an old forgotten grimoire that would teach him to summon demons and command him to carry out whatever he wanted. Now this man gained his power by following the lead of those before him. That is to say, he had used the results from experiments performed by other masters to appear wise to those around him. However, while he was good at applying that which he had learned from others, his ability to think on his feet and to reason was lacking. This man loved a woman whom he had never spoken to. He watched her from afar, admiring her beauty and dreaming of what it would be like if she was his wife. He spent so much time in the world of fantasy, where she was his, that his obsession had started to take a toll on him. He couldn't sleep, eat, and became isolated from his friends. The directions in the book were clearly laid out, and because of his adeptness at following instructions in his alchemical manuals, he thought he would master demons as quickly as he mastered alchemy. Out of desperation for this woman, he summoned a demon named Belette, who it was said could create love between man and a woman. Sensing his desperation, the demon came to his summons, and the man was sure that it was his skill that brought Belette to him so quickly. He commanded the demon to bring this love to him with haste, and without harm befalling her. The demon laughed, saying it wasn't an easy task, as the woman felt the same way as the man, but he would require but a single action from the man to ensure success. Ecstatic, the man agreed to do whatever Ballad needed to accomplish the task. The demon dictated a love letter to him, telling him to send it to his love on a specific date, using the exact words he gave him. After the man dismissed the demon, he immediately wrote the letter that Ballad had dictated to him, word for word, and set it aside, waiting for the appointed day to mail this note. When the day came to mail the letter, his love went to a spiritualist to speak to her beloved mother, who had passed when she was young. When the medium called the spirit of her mother, Ballad came in disguise and told her of the letter that she would receive. He told her that the man who wrote it was a necromancer and meant to do her family harm. Knowing exactly what the man had written, Ballad easily scared off the man's love and destroyed his reputation in the process. Just like Icarus, his overconfidence had destroyed him. However, we can learn one more lesson. Without the ability to reason, to create and innovate, a master is not a master. Never take what you read or see at face value, and that includes anything and everything that I write you. So that's really interesting. There's like a whole story here about that, but at the same time, the thing is telling you, you know what? Don't believe everything you read and that you see in writing, especially what I'm over here writing as well. So that's actually really, really neat. Okay. Let's see. We have some more books over here. This one looks different. Let's see. Let's go actually check out the highlighted items here, because I think we're going to start wrapping up this video here pretty soon. Mother, since you will not listen to reason, I must stop you myself. I apologize for stealing your notes, but I see no other way. Gabriel may be the oldest, but he has no idea what you are up to. I will be back for young Edward and Robert. I forbid you from trying anything with them, or you will dearly regret it. This has all gone on long enough. Farewell, A. That's gotta be us, Abigail, because we're talking about our brothers now, Gabriel, Edward, and Robert. Yeah, and those were part of the names in the death certificate as well. Interesting. Alright. Let's see, we have another highlighted item here. I don't recognize Father's handwriting on his notebook. Alright, and this is gonna be more than likely something to do with those areas that we can't really get into just yet. There's a lot more reading over here as well. A lot more reading as well. I'll probably skip this one here because I want to show off one thing here before we wrap it up. So there is that if you want to pause the video and do some reading over here. Pencils, notebooks, and newspapers. There's only this light to illuminate the whole room. It's also dark and oppressive. There's a massive book on the shelf, and it must be important. Now, can we get in there? I might be somewhat altered, but even so, there's no way I can read the book without finding a way to get it off the showcase. The showcase is locked. I can't get this book off the shelf. Alright. Father may not have been fond of horses. This statue's gorgeous, but I don't remember if either... I want to say maybe we used the Virgin statue to break through the showcase glass, maybe? That'd be one way to do it. Now, let's see here. I do believe here is where... No. There's something I want to show off here before we wrap it up. Maybe it's over here instead. Yeah. Feathers. Ooh. Good evening, young lady. Who are you? Oh, come now, you wound me. We are already acquainted. Of course, it was some time ago, and you may not have even seen that I was there. I am one of the kind your father did so love to talk about, even if he elected not to teach you about me in particular. My current form, shall we say, should be something of a hint. You're one of the demons that father was studying? A raven? You must be Malthus, but demons don't exist. It was just an unpleasant hobby of his. I suppose you must be right. After all, that would be simply absurd. Not unlike believing in ghosts, perhaps. I must say, I am rather surprised to see you here right now. No matter, I'm almost flattered you recognize me. It means that mankind has not quite forgotten about me yet. Not completely, at least. What do you want? What do I want? Oh, I see. Abraham must have taught you that I would require a favor if you were too impertinent as to summon me. But in your case, young lady, I chose to appear before you. You did not summon me, and thus can we dispense with the quid pro quo. I suppose I simply wanted to, well, chirp with someone, perhaps. Chirp? Fine. But what are you doing here? Haha. Now that is quite an interesting question. With that, I could answer it. You mean you don't know? Not exactly. I do recall that I was summoned, but in a most unusual way. Annie, she called me, and we chirped for a time. But she deceived me and trapped me within these walls. All I know is that some part of me remained in the cozy confines of hell, while the remainder, well, is the manor itself, or something like that. Like when I possess an object? It does indeed seem that the same forces are at work here. And why are you preventing me from going any further? I am doing nothing of the sort, or rather, not consciously. You see, my girl, we are both pure spirits here, and it seems that our essences cannot collaborate, shall we say? I promise you, I would simply love for you to proceed. I dare say that you are the only one who can free me. The sigil on the ceiling, could it be a hint? An answer? Ah, such a keen mind. It is not the answer itself, it must be some part of it. My sigil is not complete in this form. It cannot be seen by man. Much to my immense sorrow. The sigil you see only represents half of my being, the part that remains in hell. There is another sigil. In fact, it is the opposite of this one. It represents the part of me that is trapped here, among the living. Should you manage to find and decipher it, I would be free to leave this world. I knew you wanted something after all. Exposed. Yes, it seems we both need each other. I expect that I can rely on you. You have Blackwood blood running through your veins, after all. If you'll pardon the expression. Wait, you... He's disappeared. Not quite. Do keep up the good work, Abigail. Simply forget that I'm watching your every move. Ooh-hoo. Not creepy at all. Alright guys, we're gonna wrap it up here with this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you do enjoy what you watched or saw over here today, description below will have all the information you need to check it out. This will be coming out on Steam on April 14th, if I'm correct over here, along on the PS4 or some other console. I'm not entirely sure, but the description below will have all the proper information you need to check it out in case you want to, follow it up on your own accord over here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Leave a thumbs up. I will catch you next time.